Hello and welcome to Tech. I am Mohammed Adnan, and in this video we are going to do a real-time project end to end of the sales analysis, from importing of the data to data modeling to making of the tax calculation and visualization, and also how you can publish it to Power BI service, and also how you can share this with the users by creating an app on the Power BI service. So it covers almost all the topics of Power BI. So don't forget to watch start to end of this video and leave your comments on the comment section below.
Okay, as the data file is on the CSV format, so we'll connect to the CSV, so get data, and I will use this Texas CSV file. So this has a CSV file which is available here, so we need to import one by one. So we can select one by one. Okay, so while importing the CSV file, here you will get the option data type detection. So it is on the based on first 200 rows, right? So I personally feel that instead of using this option, it's better to use this one based on entire data set, because what will happen is whatever the data type detection in the columns, this the currency key and the currency alternate key. So basically on seeing this one, you can identify that the currency key is on numbers and the alternate key is on text, and this also from text. But if you select this option, that 200 rows, then this Power BI will check only for the first 200 rows what is the data type available on the first 200 rows, and then it will assign the data type to that column. I personally have faced that if there is a value which is, say for example, in the currency key, we have text as well. In that case, if you select this only for the first 200 rows option, then it will detect that this currency key is a number format, so it will assign that column as a numeric. And when you transform this data in Power Query Editor, the value which is available on the string, you will get an error for that row, for that cell, because the data type which is detected by Power BI is numeric, whereas the actual data available on that cell is text. So that I faced the problem. Instead of that, it is better to use this option based on entire data set. Okay, or else if you want to do it by yourself, then you can use this option, do not detect data type, so that you will have to assign it manually. By default, it will assign it to as a text, so you have to assign it numeric, whether that is numeric or date time, you have to assign it manually. So here I am using this option based on entire data set. Okay, so once it is done, you can use this load or transform data if you want to transform. So as of now, I want to use load option. The same way we will import other tables as well. Okay, Power Query Editor, right? So okay, so even from here as well, you can just import the data. So using this option, new source, then text CSV. So the option which is showing it below here, extract table using examples. These options they have introduced recently. I think August itself they have introduced this option, extract tables using examples. It will be helpful if you have data in the CSV format on a vertical way, and if you want to convert it onto column wise, then it will be helpful for you. So if you look at this table size here, it is 8.9 MB and still this is growing 98 MB the data which is available on that CSV file. So approximately we're adding these files, it is going up to 20 plus MBs are there. So the power of Power BI, it is compressing the data is the level that I think it is reduced up to 6 times less. So if you take this file as a 20 MB file of the data which is available here on the Excel, but whereas if you save this Power BI file and if you look at this table, I mean the Power BI file, it has only 3 MB of data. So the compression is very much high in Power BI. So we have done the first step, then how to get data from the source. And the next step is the cleanup process in the Power Query Editor. As I said just before, the first stage is we have to get the correct data in the source itself. And in most of the cases, we may not receive the correct data from the source. So we had to do something in Power Query Editor and something in DAX. So let's take an example of this first table. So this table, so I don't think so there is extra column here. So we'll take this one. And the next is customer. And in customer, so this we have first name, middle name and last name here. So I don't need this middle name here. So it's just an initial here. So there are two options here actually. One is remove other columns is there. And the one more thing is you have on the top here, choose columns. The difference between these two is if I right click here and then remove this column, everything is available here, it will come up here. And in future, if there is one additional column added to this customer table, then it will come up here as well. Even though if it is not required for this dashboard, but it will come here. So that's the thing which does by the remove column, because it is going to remove only this middle name column. It will not take care of the other column which is available in this table. Whereas if you use this choose column, what are the additional columns added to this table, it will not include in this table here, because the column which I have used selected here is going to take care only of those columns. So it is better to use this option instead of using the remove other column. You can use this choose column. So I need this customer key, geography key, customer alternate key as well. Let's have a look at the customer alternate key. Okay, this is the one. I don't think so. I need this. So the choose column, I am going to remove this one and take. So title also I don't need here. I don't need the middle name, and the name style. Date of birth is required because I want to calculate the age of the customer. So even the marital status also I need. So whether they are married customer or they are bachelor. So even suffix I don't need. I need the gender. I don't need the email. I don't need the yearly income, and I need this total children as well. So this also I need. So English education. For now we will not take care of the education. So I'm going to remove the occupation, education. Even it is in multiple languages. So I don't need this as well. And French occupation not required, house owner flag, number of cars owned not required, even the address phones is not required. So data first purchase I need, and also the commute distance. Commute distance is basically from how long they are coming to this store or the shop to purchase an item. So this is mandatory. This is an important factor for the analysis. I will tell you the details in the next sessions. So these are the things which is required in the customer column. So we'll click on OK here. Even though on the, if you look at the right side, you have an option here, remove other columns as well, right? So whereas if you check here on the address bar, it is table.select columns. So that's the difference between these two. And now let's move to the next table, dim date. For the date column, and also one more thing I have to do here for the customer. So as the customer name is first name and last name, so actually I need to combine this one, first name with the last name. For that we can use two options are there. I will walk through those two as well. So first thing is you can go to add columns and you can use this one, custom column. You have this option, custom column, and in that you can give this name as customer full name. And here you can use this, double click here so that it will come up here, and then plus double quote, one space is there, I need to add a space, and then one plus, after that I need the last name. So of the first name we'll have one space and then the last name. So if you click OK here, then at the end of this, oops, I got an error. So click here, yeah, because let's have a look at this one step. This also, okay, it is not, sorry, I had to use the and symbol instead of that plus symbol. So if you want to change any kind of the steps here, you can use this gear icon. You can click here. Yeah, now I got this. So this is the one. So customer full name. If you look at here, it is ABC and this also ABC, whereas the column which I created custom column, it has shown here as ABC123. So you can change it here, the data type of the column. So click on this icon as well, and then you can change it to text. Or else you have option here, you can also do that, right click, and then you can also change type to any of the following here. So this I think I added here. Now coming to, so that's the first thing which I have shown here, so customer full name. Let's do one more way. So that is you can use this option, you can right click here, and then you can use this option add column from example, and this my favorite option which is available in Power Query Editor. So we can do a lot of things using this option. So here you have to select the column name. So you will get a tick box here. I am going to select this and then this. So I need the information from these two columns. That's what I'm saying it to Power BI. So after that, I will just double click here, and it will give an options. You can select from here, or else you can define it on our own. So here I'm going to use JON space YANG. This is what I need. I'm telling it to Power BI. So once I click enter here, sometimes it will pick up the things which are required here, sometimes it may not. So we had to put 2 or 3 values here, whereas this time luckily it has picked up the thing which I have required here. But if you look at the values here, Julia Rose is there and Marco Mehta is there, and also the name which I has pronounced here is exactly the way which we required here. So if you click OK, so it generates the columns as well. So this is one more way you can create the columns using columns from example. So now I'm going to delete this step because we already created this way. So I'm going to delete this one. So now going to this one, dim date. So we'll use the same option, choose columns. This all comes under the best practices. You have to use this one instead of remove other columns. So I don't need the Spanish, French, day number of the month. I don't need here day number of the year. I don't need week number of the year. I need. So English month name I know I need, and Spanish, French, month, number of year I need. So calendar quarter, calendar year, semester I don't need here. Fiscal also I don't need as of now for this analysis. Okay, so once this is done, click on OK and OK. So I need to add one more way because the thing which I need here, it is not available here. I need only the month name and then the year name. So it is not available here. So in order to do that, so we can use the same option, my favorite, right click, add columns from example. So I'm just taking it only one column, and here I'm going to define, I just need only the January 2005. Okay, it's not available. So if I click enter here, the Power BI has not recognized what I'm actually looking for. In that case, I had to update one more row. Then sometimes you have to update it 2 or 3 times. So now it picks up the data. So what I actually need. So if you had to be make sure it is working correct or not. So I will just walk through here. And if you look at here, on February, even for the Jan, it has taken Jan 2005, and for February it is taken 1st of February, whereas actually I need here not Jan 2005, I need February 2005. I can just, you have to just double click here and you type Feb 2005. And if you go down further down to make sure this perfectly taken, it recognizes the data which I have actually needed. So let's go to March. So for March it has taken correctly. So now it understands what I'm actually looking for. So even for the same, for the April, it has taken the correct data as well. So if you're satisfied with the result which is shown here, you can just double click the column name to rename this year. I will make it as the month, year, and click OK. So at the end of the column, I got this one. So if you want to, if you make something missed here, like say for example, I don't need this calendar here, but I have went one more steps down here. You no need to worry about that. You can just click on the gear icon here on the right side. It will open up the same window, and here you can untick that option as well. So I don't need the calendar quarter. Click OK. And if you go to the last step, so this is the thing. So now there is no error. So the column also has been removed from here. Now let's go to the next column, next table, dim geography. So again, choose column, geography key I need, and I need the city and state also I need, provision name, region name. So I don't need the Spanish, postal code, territory key. I need the sales territory key. So these are the things I don't need here. So click OK. And then the product also we can do the same things. So choose columns. It has a lot of data, and I need the product key, subcategory key. I don't need the weightage, unit of measurement, Spanish, French, standard cost, color I need, stock level, reorder. As for this demo, I don't need these things, so I'm going to remove these things. So by doing this, it will actually save a lot of space on in terms of data storage. So these are the multiple languages here. You can remove here. You can keep all those things here. Click OK. And in the product category, also you can remove the other languages, Spanish, French. And in product subcategory, Spanish, French. Product category key, okay, I need that. And sales territory is also the same. I don't need the image. What is that group? Northwest United States, America. Territory group, sales territory, country, and the region. Okay. And this is the main table, fact internet sales, which is the whole transaction data. So in this we'll have only the keys here, ship day, customer key, and okay, there are few columns here which we don't need now. So it is choose columns, product key, order date. We don't need the due as of now. We'll just need an order and a shipment here. So I'm going to remove this D and tax amount, sales amount. Okay, we are not considering the tax as well. So customer PO number, order date, sales amount, product cost, product standard cost. We can add the columns if you require in future as well. So click OK here. So once it is done, you can use this close and apply, or you can use the apply option just to apply. Okay, so other than that topic, so these are the important thing which we need to consider here. Let's take an example of this one, the currency table. Okay, so here you need to in the view option on the top, you have an option like column distribution and column quality and column profile. So these are the things you need to check in order to verify the data which is available here. So we'll go one by one. So first I'll take here the column quality. If you look at this column quality, so the subject to the data type which is available on this column, so it is 100% valid. No errors are being found, and there is no empty columns here. So this is a valid key. And if you look at this column distribution option, so the data, how the data is distributed throughout the columns. So values are unique here, so it is showing it here this way. And the column profile, so the count is total 105 and there is no error, there is no empty, the distinct and unique values are here, and the minimum value, maximum value, and even the standard deviation. These are the things which is given here. So main thing is the column quality. And let's have a look at this same thing for others as well, like the product table. Have a look at the column quality. So here everything is perfect. Yeah, it will take sometimes if it has many data. Let's have a look at the column profile. So let's have a look at the internet sales fact internet. This is the main transaction data. So let's have a look at this table. So I'm going to enable this column quality. So if you look at bottom here, column proofing based on top 1000 rows. So basically Power Query Editor will show you the data, whatever it is showing it here. It will function only to this top 1000 rows. If you want to do it the entire data set, you can just click here and you have an option like column profiling based on entire data set. If you want to scan the whole data table, then you can use this option. For now I can use this one as well. So as you can see here, there is no error. So if it is error, then it will highlight you here. If there is empty also, it will highlight you here. And if you look at this column profile, so there are 1000 rows are there, no errors, no empties. There are only 25 distinct values are there, and rest of them are repeated values are there. So there is no unique here, everything is repeated. So there is no blank or null value, and there is no zero. The minimum is here, maximum is there. These are the even numbers, and this is how the distribution occurs. The data with the value is the 310 is majority of the value of the table, it is 310, and this is how it is decreasing here. The 310 value, it is the majority of the row which is available here is 310, which is the occurrence of 164 rows are there, that is 16% of it. So this is an important thing which you need to take care while looking at this column structure. If you right click here, there are two options available. Basically it is enable load and include in report refresh. What does these two things means is include in report refresh means if you have added one table, say for example if you added one week table, okay, it will have from value from 1 to 53. So that table is not going to refresh every time. In that case, you can just add the table. Say I'm going to add this table. Just an example, if you want to mention the month number, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can add this column and then so this is month number and this is name and this is the month table. So this is how you can able to create custom tables as well. So click OK. Even though this is not covered under this topic, but I'm telling you for the additional information. And if you right click this table, then you will have this option include and report refresh, because whenever you click on here refresh data, refresh view and refresh all, then as I have just right click here, I will just include this one as well, include and report refresh. And if I click select here in this table, because I'm not selecting this one, and refresh all, then it will load all the tables one more time, even though this table is not necessary actually. As we are aware that this is the static table, the values are not going to change, then unnecessary why we need the Power BI to refresh this data. So in that case, you can use this option, tick out this option, including the report refresh. Okay, and you have this one more option, enable data load. So what does it mean means you have some things that you want to calculate inside this Power Query data and not on Power BI desktop, because Power Query data is works on a different way, and it is just a data mashup. It just transform the data, whatever you want to do it here, you can do it here, and it is not going to load into Power BI whatever things it is going to do it inside this Power Query data. Once it is done all the data which is done through in RAM itself, then it will load into Power BI on the physical system. So if you do this option enable load, so what I will do, I will just tick down this option. So there is no enable load option, even in not an include report refresh. The month table column changed to italic view. Now I'm going to use the option close and apply. I have created a table now. So here I have this option column here. Now here actually you are seeing that if you want to hide this one, you can hide this one option. You can go here and then hide the columns. Like the same way, if you do this for this one, go here and then the measure table, click on this icon and then hide in report view. Then it is going to hide the column as well as the table also, because there is available only one column in the table, and even that also if you are hiding it, so there is no use of showing the tables over there. That's why the Power BI is hiding the tables as well. In order to make them visible again, you have to go here and then click on new measure. Do that, then this table name will be in dark, it is visible now. So I'm going to give it a name, sales amount equal to the sum is a DAX function, and in that it is asking for the column name. The column name is the sales amount. The fact internet sale is the table name, and then the sales amount is the column name of it. I'm just adding the total sum of the year. So if you use the sum x function, there are sum x, max x function is there. If you use the sum, then it is going to calculate for the whole column of this fact internet sales amount column. Whereas if you go with the sum x function, it is go row by row context. So it is complete, it will calculate for the whole column. It is available on the filter context. So after that, let's add a tree view now. Before to that, we'll first of all create the cards now. So click here the card, and then you can click on the measures now. You can also do this way, or you can directly click on the measures on this selection pane. Based on the data type, it will automatically detect a chart here, and if you don't want this chart, you can directly select that same again and then click on the card visual which you want to do it now. So this is the thing. And regarding the theme, you can go to this option view here. By default you have this theme, the blue color theme. Now if you want to change the theme, right now I'm using this city park, so I have changed this to city park now. So this is the card visual. And regarding the formatting options as well, so I have used this option 29.39 million. So if you want to remove the decimals, you can click on this measures on the fields pane, and then on the top you will have this measure tools. In this you have this formatting options, you have multiple options here. You can select any of this value. Generally I used to use this one, comma separated one with the 0 decimal points. Basically it will take 2 points here. You can reduce this one option. So this is decimal number with the comma separated, so the value is in millions. So in the format tab, you have this option in the data label, you have this option like display units. You have in thousands, million, billions, and trillions. So right now it is in millions. So it is showing this value. If you select on none, then it will not make any filtration. It will give the just direct value. So auto is very helpful. If the value is reduced, then it will automatically convert it to thousands. If the value is too much high, then it will automatically convert it to billions. So auto is the best option. So you can keep that one as well. So this is one we have made here. And regarding this one, the name I have given here is the sales option. For that, you can use the format tab. You can just double click here and change the names, sales. It will change the name as well. Or else you have these options, category label. No, you don't have that. You can just change the color of it. Okay. Now you can copy the same thing and paste here. And after that, you have the number of sales order. That is coming from the fact internet sale. So in the fact internet sales, so how many sales orders so far we have received? So the column name is, even though the name is not correct here because of user friendly name I have given here, but actual name is the sales order number. You need to mouse over here in order to see the exact column name. So it is sales order name, sales order number. This is the one. So you can just go here and delete this one and drag and drop the sales order number to here. As this is a text here, for the text by default it will take as a first value, or you have these options here, last count, distinct account, and either just number of the counts. So it is showing the value. Because of setting it the value to auto here in the format tab, in the data label, the display units in auto format, so that only it is showing it in the thousands. Here it is millions, and here it is showing it in thousands. So if you select here this distinct count, so distinct orders. So far 27.66 distinct orders we have received here. And regarding the customers, how many number of customer, product and countries. So we copy this. So I need to remove here sales orders. This is just an information for the company. It will be really helpful to quickly get this information. So this much of sales we have done so far based on the dates which they have selected. And copy and paste now to use this visual. And I need the number of products, how many products we are making. So that will be, you can take it from the product table and you can drag any of the value here. I'm just taking the product description. So click over here, it's changed here, and click on listing count. Totally 115 product is showing it here. Products. So the next is the customer. So copy paste. We have this customer name, the first time example. You can use this option as a count of customers. If you click on customer key, that will be the unique one. So I will use this distinct count as well. Customers. And finally, what we have here is the countries. You can reduce this chart size as well in order to keep more space. Finally, we need to add countries. So it will be in sales territory. So sales territory, what is the contact? So here count of countries. I will just copy these things. If the data table and the column name, everything is same, you can copy the visuals from one Power BI file to another file. So I'm just selecting these three here and then copy from this one and go here and just move this a bit here and then paste. If everything is matching, then it will give the correct data. So now if you can see this, I'm just changing this view here. In this one, in the view tab, we have three options. So one is the fit to page, and other was actual to width, and then the actual size. The fit to page, it will show you all the page inside the available screen. It will adjust it according to. If fit to width is, it will just fit to the width here. And now if you select the actual size, it will be too big here. Let me show it on this one. So you have view option. Right now I use this option to fit to width to give the clear view of how this looks. And if I change this option to actual size, then even though it will increase the size as well. The reason is because of the page size which I have given here. So click on anywhere of the blank area and go to visualization tab, and then in the format option we have this page information and page size. So here we have type 4.3 letter tooltip and custom. By default it will be 16.9. If you want to change the dimension of the page, you can also do that by using this custom option. You have these default pixels, and if you want to just change the height of it, or if you want to increase the width of it like 1400 in a case, you can also do that. Enter, then it will add the extra spaces as well. And if you bottom we don't have any space, if I click here and then change it to 900, so we go down now, so we have the extra spaces here. So it is not limited to the area which is given default in Power BI, we can customize the page size as well. So switching it back to 16:9. So this is the one, and in the page view we can use this fit to page. Whatever you are setting it here, fit to page or fit to with an actual size, and after the publish, the same thing is going to apply it on the Power BI service itself. So if you want the users to look at the bigger screen, and the best option is to set this one fit to width. So he will get the maximum viewpoint here. And if you want to scroll down, you can scroll down as well. So coming back here, you can copy these visuals here, and I'm setting this to fit to width. So it is fitting to the width. Now you can see the data here. Okay, now I have the calendar, I have the subcategory, and I have the category as well. And regarding this picture and the text here, you have two options. Either you can just copy and paste from the existing, or if you want to create a new one, you can go here to insert, and then you have these options: text box, button, shapes, and image. So if you click on the image here, you have to pick the image from your PC. Right now I forgot where I kept the picture. I just copied this picture from this one and Control C and Control V. So it will copy the picture. Regarding text, we can insert the text here, so not a problem. So I'll just click on the text here, sales analysis. It is sales analysis. Make it a bold, and then the font size too. I can resize this. The best thing is, so if you copy from the Power BI visual any of the area from that page, from which part of the page you have copied, it is going to paste on the same area. Say for example, if I copy this visual from this location, which is available on the center of this page, if I copy it here and then go back here and place on the blank area, then it is going to paste it on the same location. So that's a good thing. Okay, see, this is the sales analysis of the Adventure Works company, and here on the top we have the cards, and on the right side we have the slices to apply the filters and all. And on here we have this sales year and month. This is a single graph. If you open up the visualization pane, and this is here we are used here the area chart. Okay, and the next one we are used here is the tree map. So it is comes here, it's a tree map, and over to that we have used here the 100% stacked bar chart, and these both of them are also the tree map. And if you just mouse over here, you will get a tooltip here. This is called a tooltip functionality. It is what it is saying is the marital status of the customers, if they are married and if they are single. So out of the 29 million sales, the 15 million sales are from the males, and the singles are 14 million sales. And out of them, those who have only one children, the number of children, the married persons who has only one children, they are purchasing more when compared to the other customers if they are married. And if they are single mother or single father, in that case, if there is no child with them, then only, if they are bachelors, then only they are purchasing more. Or if you have two children, then they are purchasing it more. So it's kind of analysis for them. And the same way here. So this is just in brief about that. And also we have the one more function, which is the drill through function. So say for example, we have this North America 11 million sales. Okay, if you just mouse over here, we get an option like right click to drill through is there. And if I do it here, the option is not available here, because only for this one I have enabled the drill through process, which I will show you in the later on. So if I right click here, we get an option here, drill through. So if you get drill through and then the product visual, so it will redirect to the product visual page only for the North America value. Only for the North America, we have made a separate tabs here. In this I have used categories, accessories, bikes and clothing, how many sales so far, and the model, in which model we have a huge sale here, and which color the customers are liking, and also the sales by style. So UV is a sales style, and here the sales size, in which size we have a great number of sales, and also the sales by class. So it is high, medium, low, and null. The value, it is no value, it is null here. Okay, now let's start with this one. So this is the area chart I used here. As we have made the groupings of these visuals, so it is we have to double click now, then only it is going to select that specific visual. So this is the area chart, and in this I have used here, okay, so short month name, and then in the measures I used the sales amount which I created yesterday. So I will use this area chart again here. And then from the dim date, okay, actually we have to create a calculated column now in order to arrive the short month name. Let's have a look at the data of the dim date. Okay, this is the dim date table. Here I use the short month name column here. Now if you go back here and then the dim date table, here we have the date key and then the full date and also the number of week, okay, weekdays, and then the month we have the full complete name here, month. We can also use that. If you want to create a short month, then we can create a calendar table. Here in this demo we will use the same thing. So right click here, click here on the three-dot icon and then click on the new column. We can also use this DAX function, or also we can create it in Power query editor as well. So it is adding up a new column now. You can use the short month name. In this we will use the month or switch function. It's true, the value which comes on the row is true, then show me this value. If the value is 1, then I need to be Jan. The value is 2, you can use the Feb, because this your month calendar is going to the static, it's not going to change based on the data. So we have 12 months, so we can use this one option. So close the bracket and commit. At the last we have to use the else statement. So instead of else I use the December value here. Here we have to use the month number of year. If the value of this month of year is 1, it is January, 2, it is February, like that. If other than to these numbers, it will return the December value. So now we got this result, and after that calendar year. Okay, so on this one I will use this short month name on the x-axis, and the calendar year, I think calendar year is on the top. So calendar year is on the legend. You click here, okay, and the measure which I created yesterday, so it's the sales amount, we'll drag and drop it into the value section. So fact internet sales amount, and then the dim date. And if you look at here, the graph which it is showing it here, it's all the values are looking same here, whereas in the existing file we have the variation of the data. The reason may be because of the relationship of these tables, so between the dim date and then the fact internet sale. So let's have a look at the relationship first. So if you look at the dim date table here, the fact internet sale. So dim date is linked with the due date, which is existing connection now. So if you go here, modeling, manage relationship. So there is no relationship between the dim date column and the fact internet sale. So we'll just create new one. So click new, and then from here we'll take the dim date, and in this we can take this full alternate key, and here in the fact internet sale we have multiple date columns here instead of this full name key, because in the database of the other table also we have the date key itself. So we'll select the date key here from the dim date, and here we have 3 date columns. One is order date, shipment date, and also we have due date, I think. No, we don't have that. So I will connect this here to order date key. So both of them is going to be same. You can connect using the date key, as well as you can want to, if you have the date columns, then you can also connect with the date columns as well. So one-to-many relationship, we will have the unique records on the dim date table, and we will have multiple records on the fact internet sale. So it is one-to-many relationship, and also the cross filter direction is single, so we don't want to be to both connection. So click OK. And also the relationship is in active state, so click close now. So if you see, the data is changed here, but even though the data has changed, but if you look at the values here, I don't know if you can able to see this or not. These values is sorting by December, November, June. Is not in a proper order. I think it's starting by the values it is here. So if you click on the three dot icon here, and you have this option, let's sort descending. Actually it has to be ascending order, because we need from January, February and March, and again the value is not correct. So if you click here and then sort by, so sort by sales amount, actually we need it by short month name. So click here, and if you look at the values, let me increase the text size of that. Go to the format tab and in the search you can type the text as, so it will open up all the text options available here. So for the legend I need it to be 10, and for the y-axis let it be 10. Okay, now if you look at this here on the x-axis, it is coming alphabetic order, not on the way which we need like January, February and March. It is coming A, D, F, so alphabetic order. In order to do change this one, so you have to click on the short month name column which we created now, and then if you expand this ribbon, on the top of this column tools we'll have this option sort by column. So if you click here, then we need to, as you're thinking that we can use the date key column because the date key is unique here. If I click on the date key, then we get an error message here that says we can't sort this short month name column by date key. There can't be more than one value in the date key for the same value in short month name. Please choose a different column for sorting or update the data in date key. The reason why it is showing it like this is because if you go back again to this data tab, here if you compare this date key column, so let me reduce this one. Yeah, now if you just compare to this one date key column and for the short month name, so there are on the top 1 2 3 4 5, the 5 rows are showing the Jan, whereas here in the date key column it is different dates here. So that is why it is saying it should not be like this one. If this date key is the same value and the short month should be the same value. In order to do that, we had to use this option, this column, the month number name, sorry, the month number. Because if you look at here, the values of this between the month number of the year and the short month name, for 11111 we have this January, and for 2 February. So both of the values are same. It's not changing the value. If it is a 3 here, if it is one unique values here between the rows, and it's also showing the one unique values here. Let me filter one. So I will just filter 1 here. Here it is showing all the values as 1. So if you look at this value here, it is showing only Jan here. Whereas if you look at the date key, we'll have the multiple values here. That's why it is not able to sort the data. So let me clear this one. So instead of selecting this column, sorting this column by date key, we can use the sort column by the month number of year. So if you do that, if you look at the x-axis now is Jan, Feb, March, April, May, it has sorted based on the month number. Even though the value is showing it on the text of the short month name, but that column is sorted based on the value of other column, which is a month number column. So this is how we done. And according to the formatting option, we can do it on the format pen. I will just copy this visual from here. So one option is we can just click here and then use the format painter option, and then if you paste it on, click on this other visual, then it will apply all the formatting options from this to this one way, or else we can do it manually one by one. So if you go here to the format tab, for this chart area option, the first option is the general, so it's just an alignment of the position of this chart, and the legend, where should we keep the legend here, on the top of this one, on the right side, or the bottom center, wherever we can. So it is on the top. And the title of it, like I mentioned, a calendar year. If you want to use the calendar year, or you can just use the year function, year name. So it's changed to year here instead of calendar year. And the color, font and font size, and here only the markers only, line and markers and line only. What does it mean is here it is showing only the round lines, right? So if you use this line and markers, then it will change the way how it is. So and we have only lines options, So to show only the lines here. I will tell you this one in few minutes. So here, if you go here to the shapes here, we have option like round, and then this line is style or solid. And also we can customize this to the 3 series as it's showing for 2011, 12 and 13, right? So we can also customize for that one. And here in the joint type, we have the round option and the solid color. And then if you want to show the marker, you can also show it here. So this is the one it is showing the marker here. And where is that marker? Only line and marker. So if I change this here to line and marker, in the legend it is changing the line and it's also giving the marker here. So that's the purpose of using that option. And here if you go down to the shapes here, we have an option like stepped layout. As this is coming like this one, actually I don't need this marker, so I turn off this one. And we have the option like stepped layout. As it is coming smoothly this up and downs here, if you click on the stepped layout, then it will work like this one, steps. Okay, this is one thing. So next we can add this one. It is a sales by territory group. Gonna resize this one, and I'm deleting this one now. Let's add tree view, and here instead of date time we'll use this sales territory. So dragging and drop the sales amount on the values area of this chart, and then from the sales territory it is sales territory group. So here also if you want to change the font size and formatting, you can do that. So if you want to enable the legend, you can use that, but actually we don't need here because it's already showing it on the graph itself. I need the data labels, how much value it has, and I need to increase the font size of it. So let it be 10. And the category is nothing but this one, the name of this one, it is showing it here inside to that. Category, I want to increase the font size as well. And regarding this one, the formatting option, we can copy it from one to another visuals. If I click here and then paste here, even though these two are different visuals, but there are few things which is similar to each and every visuals. So it will apply those formatting options from one to another one. As I have disabled, I have the color of the title and the font size, it has changed here. And also we have enabled the data labels for this one. But when I try to use this formatting option to this one, the data label has been disabled. So I need to turn it on again. Even the font size and it changed from white to black. Earlier it was white, so it is now 7.5 to 10. Okay, good. So we can realign this one. So this is sales amount by territory group. Okay. So the next is we have here a 100% stacked bar chart. We'll click here. Place it over here. And here what we have used here is category, and the legend is territory, and then the sales amount. So I'll drag and drop the sales amount on the value section. And sales territory group on the legend, product category on the axis. So if you go format and then enable the data labels, I will just copy this format painter from here to here, so it will adopt all the everything format option here. The color looks really pale, so I need to change the theme of it. So view here, and then I think right now it is in city park, so let us change to something other than this. If you look at this value here, it is showing the same values for everything. I think there must be some relationship issue again for this one. So it is sales territory and then the product category we are used here based on this one. So let's have a look at this one, sales territory and then the product category. And I think it's because of sales territory, product is linked with the subcategory and subcategory is linked with the category. And this fat internet sale product key is linked with the product key here. That I need to check. So go to modeling and then the manage relationship. Even though the product key is linked with this one here and the product subcategory is linked with the product category, whereas the product table is not linked with the product subcategory. So we need to create a new one. So here I will say this dim product subcategory key, and then the dim product subcategory, it is product subcategory key. So now the relationship is inactive. So many to one and single. Click OK and then close. Yeah, now the data has been changed here. So what we understand from this is relationship plays an important role, even though the graph looks like okay with that, but I just got a doubt because each and every value is showing the same thing. So that's only I tried to figure out that there is an issue with the relationship. Because this the measure which I used here is just in sum of the sales. It's they are doing nothing else. But the data which is filtering here, it is either we had to use the slicer or it is filtered with the help of the relationship between the tables. As the category table is filtered by the subcategory, I mean relationship has a relationship with the subcategory and the subcategory has a relationship with the product and the product is available on the fact internet sales. So that's the reason it was not working. So we have to make sure that all the relationship is perfectly aligned together. So with the help of this area chart, what we understand here, as we have selected only for this 3 year, 2011, 12 and 13, and between these months, so 2013 we have the huge sales when compared to these 3 years, and in 2011 we have good sale when compared to 2012. So if you look at here, in Jan and Feb we have good sale on 2012, whereas on 2000, I mean from the March onwards there is a very less sale in 2012 when compared to 2011. So regarding this tooltip option, as I am hovering here, it is showing these values here, right? So if you click here and go to this visualization pane, and here we are drag and drop the axis here and legend and values. If you want the secondary values, we can also use it here. And by default, whatever the fields which are used here, it is going to show it on the tooltip. If there is a specific requirement you want to show it here, you can also use this option, the tooltip. So for example, and I want to show here month and year like this one on this way. So it will show the first month and year. If you bring your tooltip function here, then it is showing this one for the March 2011, March 2012 and March 2013 as well. So calendar year, everything is showing it here on the tooltip. You can customize that as well. And if you don't want this tooltip to be visible here for the user, like this one, if they are hovering the mouse, you have this option in the format option, go to format, and at the bottom of this one, tooltip is there, you can disable that one also. So this is one. And regarding this tree view, what we understand from here, is out of this total 29 million sales in these 3 years, we have good sale in North America first, and then in the Pacific, and then from Europe. So this is how it will work. And if you want to add the categories inside to that, you can also do that. So in the visualization pane of this one, we have option like group and then values, right? So details is empty here. You can drag and drop the details for the category here, so that it just gives an lines on through that. So for the bike alone, it is 11 million, and here we have two categories. If you mouse over here, North America accessories, we have 342, and for the clothing, it's 177. So these are all the small values when compared to the bike sales in all the three territories. So I will remove this one in order to avoid the confusion. Whereas here, sales amount percentage between these three territory on the categories. So in Europe, we have huge sale on the bike. No, not on the Europe actually. It is actually we can also do one thing. Let's try sorting this one. So click here, and then you sort descending, and it's by sales order, right? So it is in the sales order itself. Actually, it is sorting by the sales total sales value of this category. It is not sorting inside to the category. So when compared to bikes, accessories and clothing, so bikes we have huge sales, so it is first is bike, and accessories is second, and clothing is the third one. But it is not sorting inside to that. So on seeing this graph, 38% of the sales of the bike is comes in the North America, and accessories also from North America, and also the clothing also from North America. The second category for this one is the Pacific for the bike, and whereas for the accessories and clothing, it is in the Europe. So this is the kind of analysis which you can make. And the next option is we have sales by marital status. This one, it is come from customer table and then the sales amount. So I will just copy this one and paste somewhere else. Go to the visualization pane and sales pane enable. So instead of the sales territory group, I will close this one and open up the dim customer table. From here, I will use the marital status. So drag and drop here. So it will do the rest value. So 15 million is from the married person, and 14 million is from the single persons. I will just copy and paste again here, and then I will use, instead of marital status, I will use this gender option. You can also use this option here with the sales or the marital status. I will just drag and drop the gender here to detail section. So what we got the result here is it is splitting it into divided equal parts. So I think the data itself is like that. So you can remove this one. So this is the sales by marital status and sales by gender, and after that we have here the sales by customer age. So how old is the age of the customer, those who are comes to this sales and because of purchase. So what the use of this kind of analysis is, the product which you are selling is on top of, and looking at this graph, the existing one, sales by customer age. So the customers which are purchasing from our store is between the age of 41 to 50. So we need to focus the products, this kind of products, in order to in order to sell more, we have to use the 41 to 50 age persons are buying more when compared to other persons. So we have to keep the products and purchase the product and keep it on our stores to buy more from them. And we have one more options here. So first we'll finish this one. So customers by age. If you go to this fields pane in the customers, we have created one calculate column here for the customer age. So this is, I will just copy it here and let's go back to this one, and in customer column click here and new column. Now what I have done so far, so I'm declaring a variable now, variable age, and equal to date difference, the customer birth date and till today's date equal to comma year. So the date diff function, let me zoom a little bit. This is a date diff function. So if I enable this one, we have option date 1 and date 2. What this function does is it just gives the difference between these two dates. The first date I am taking it from the customer birth date, and then the second date it is the current date, that is today. It's also a DAX function, and how you want the value to be returned. So if you click comma here, we have options here. You need this option in a day or hour or minute or month or quarter, second or week or year. So in this case I need the values should be written on year, so that's I am returning year here. And then I use the return function. In return, if the switch the value is true, that is it is returning any value, then it will check the values here instead of expression. Last time we have used the column name. As we don't have a column name here, we have just value. If there is a value on this function, then it will check for the value in the age, the variable which we have declared here on the top. If the age value is greater than 100, then I am classifying it to be grouped it by 100, 1 to 110. Like the same way, if it is greater than 90, so 91 to 100, 80, like the same way I used here. Age is 20, greater than 20 is 21 to 30. If the age is greater than 10, it's 11 to 20. If nothing, then it is from the age 0, 1 to 10 years. Actually, we can mention it here 0 as well. If they are items they are purchased for the newborn baby, so it is 0 to 1, 0 to 10 years. So click commit here, it will create a column on the table based on the customers, date of birth, how much is their age. So it is created here. So now let's create one chart. This is the first one, bar chart. So I will use this one now. Click anywhere on the blank surface and then click on the chart visual, because if you click on any other visual and then click on this chart in order to add a new chart, then it will just replace the existing one. So like this one. So go back again. Click here on this chart and realign this. Okay, here the customer age should be on the x-axis, on the y-axis, and the sales amount on the value section. So this is looking here. So if you look at this one, it is showing all the values in blue, whereas here we have the color variations here from green to blue is there. How we can achieve this is with the help of the conditional formatting for this visual. So go to this one. I will just apply the heading formatting from this visual to this one in order to save the time. We have an options in the visualization pane. Here title, we can customize the title, headings and all. So background color is blue and the font color is white, like this one. And regarding the data label, it is showing it here 1.3 million, right? So data labels, it is showing a message here, this mark. This visual is responsive to return the data label font to its original size, enlarge the visual. So the size is too small here, so it is not returning this data labels for the others area. So let me resize these visuals, or else better we can use increase the page size. So I will undo all these things. Okay, click on the any plain area and then go to this format option. Okay, click on anywhere plain area, format option. We have this page size. So I will just click on the customize, and in the increase height I will change it to 800. So now I have the increase in size. So I will also increase the size of this chart. So go to this format option and enable the data labels. So now it is showing it for all the values here. And regarding the color of this bar, so you have option like data colors. It is showing it for all. You can set a default color, any of the colors if you want, or else we have this option, the function fx function here. If you click here, it will open up a window. So you can conditionally format these options. So in the format by, we have three options here. One is the color scale, one is the rules, and then the field value. The color scale which you are going to use now, the rules is nothing but if you are fixing it value, like if the sales is greater than 10,000, you can define rules over there. If you click here, like the count of customers is there, right? So actually we don't need that. If they measure the sales amount is greater than, for example, 5 lakhs. Here we have option like number and percentage, like this one. If it is greater than 0, sorry, actually, and then less than 5 lakhs, then it will show this color, or else it will show the default color what we have set. So click on OK. So even though the value which is set is very less, so it is not showing it here. Let me increase the value. So click on function again. So here in the rules, instead of here, we can select the fields or measures on the column names. So it is greater than 0 number and less than 50. Click OK. So far up to this level, we got this color, and after that, what the color we have set the default, it is showing it here. And you can click again here on the effects icon. So it will open up the same window, and we have this field value. If you have made any DAX functions to return the specific value, like if you want to make a specific color only for the age person which they are above 70, 71 to 80, then if you want to highlight only for those colors, then you can define a new measure for that. Or else you can use this color scale option. So color scale is based on the fields, the sales amount. The minimum color will be red color and the highest color will be in the green color. So this is how it will look like. If you want to add some more color in between to them, you can also do that by clicking here, the diverging, and here I'm using this yellow option. So click OK. So the color has changed from this red color and then the yellow, and then it's changing it to green. So you can change whatever color you want. Or else if you want only the plain colors, like the theme minimum is the blue color and the highest is the dark blue color. If you want like this, and you don't need the diverging color, you can also do that and click on OK. Then it will give the colors from light to dark. The low value will have the less color, and then the dark color will have the highest value. Now I'm copying this format option here to apply it. So what I did, I just tried to format the options from this tree view to this chart. By doing that, I lost the custom formatting. So I had to go back again. Here, data colors, it is changing into default colors. So I need to use this function again. And then the color scale here, instead of customer age, I used to select the sales amount. And lowest value is this color, and highest value is this color. Click OK. Oh, actually the font size is white color, that's why it is not showing it here. So the color should be black, And here you have an option like overflow text. It is because if the value are too much congested between the one line to second line, then if I enable this option, then it will open up the value from that two lines. And the next thing we have here is the commute distance. How much distance they made. I'll just copy this value here and paste. And from the filter fields pane, instead of using this customer range, I will use this commute distance. The reason behind this analysis is actually a good thing, because from how many distance the customers are coming to our store for the purchase. Here in this case, it is within 1 mile most of the purchases are being done, and for the 2 to 5 kilometers this is 5 million sales, and 5 to 10 kilometers it is 5 million sales again. So on seeing this one, so 2 to 5 and 5 to 10 kilometers our customers are traveling in order to come to our store and buy the things. So what the idea will strike out is, it is better and will get a good sale if you open up a new shop near to this area within this 5 to 10 kilometers is there, right? So we can open up one more store and we can let the new customers come into that store, and we'll have the good sale on those areas as well. So this will be helpful, one kind of analysis for this one. And the last option here is the sales by territory and state. So sales territory and then the measures. Okay, so I'll just copy the same thing. You can now use this copy, same thing, resize this, and from the visualization fields pane, I'll take out this option, and from the geography I need what I used here, state, province name, and from the sales territory it is the region group. So as is in the bar chart, we can change it to column chart by clicking directly over here. We'll change this value to this one. As we have copied this visual from this to this, the formatting option, it is still there. So here the additional option what I have made here, you have this option like focus mode, right? So I just click on focus mode because I want to explain one thing. So it will open up just one visual at a time. So go back to report is, you can click here to go back to this one. But let me open up here, and we have these territories like North America, Pacific and Europe, and on the top of this each and every visual will get these options here. It is the drill down. If you click here, it will be drill down. If you click any of this visual, then we'll have no effect here, whereas if you enable this option, click on to turn on the drill down. If I click on the North America, it will go down to this North America one step, and it will show me the state within this North America. So if I click on again here the drill up, it will drill up here. And if I click on the Pacific now, it will show the states within the Pacific. It is New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia and Tasmania. So we can go up here. This one thing, we can use the drill down and drill up option, or else we have this option directly. We can just go to the next level. This is the first level, it's territory group, and the next level is the state. So it will directly go to state irrespective of any sales territory. Okay, if you come up again here using this drill up option, or else we have one more option here. This is expand down one level. So if you click here, it will give you with the name of the sales territory. So North America, the state name, and then the Pacific, the state name, like this. It will bring up here. But I think we have one more option here. So let's go to this formatting option of this tab. And in the x-axis I didn't remember where it is, so I'll just use this category. Something like category concatenate labels. I think this is the one. How it will look like is if you look at here, and now we'll dig into something like the tooltip option, like this one page, in which we have here the number of children by the customers and the sales according to that. So we'll go to this sheet and create a new sheet by clicking on this plus icon, and then in the format option you have this page information. Sorry, yeah, in this you need to turn on this one tooltip option, and then in the page size you have to select the type as tooltip. If you select this one, the size of the page will get reduced this much. And now we'll create a chart here. This one. So this is a chart. I'll expand this, and I need to add the customers here, number of children. So total children is there. So I'll put this on x-axis, axis, and the measure which I created, measure table sales amount. It is on the values. And on the format option, we'll turn on the data labels. So these are the sales which are made, and we will sort this by, okay, no issues. So this is the way. So those who have 5 children, they are purchasing less, and those who have no children, they are purchasing more. So this is what it says. And we can just hide this page. So right click here, and we have hide page. So by hiding this page, it is not going to hide it on Power BI desktop. It is going to hide it on Power BI service when we publish this report. And going to this first one, so we'll just rename these sheets here. So this is sales, and this is children tooltip. Okay, when you keep the cursor here, select this one, sales amount by gender, and here in this we have gender that is coming from the customer table. And to work this as a tooltip, then you have to drag and drop total children in the tooltip portion of this chart. So I'll drag and drop the tooltip here, and in the format tab, let's see if the tooltip is enabled or not. So here the tooltip is enabled, so this has to be. And also the report page option, we have this option report page or default. So if it is a default option, then it will just give us the value like this, sales territory, the black window is appears here, right? So that's the one default option. And if you want it to be a report page, then we have to select the report page here, and the page, if it is auto, so for example if you click here, it will try to detect the auto. If it is not, then we have to select the children's here. So we'll select with this one, the children. So keep your cursor here, it is showing this value. So that's the difference. So those who have 5 children, it is even if they are single mothers, that's a single female, it's also showing the high sales if there are no children. Even if the gender is male, that's also the huge sales. That's the difference here. Those who had 2 children with a single father like that, so they have the huge sale when compared to the one single father. Okay, that's the thing. This is about the tooltip. Now we'll check about the drill through features. In the drill through, I have added this one sheet, product visual. In this, I added the matrix table and the tree chart and the bar chart as well, and also column chart. It's just purely related to the product.
So what are the colors here, size here, and the style, class, and the models. And on the top, we have the matrix table. In this, we have territory based on the category, total sales. So let's start with one by one. So we have not worked on the matrix table so far. So we'll add the matrix table here. I will rename this sheet first. In this, let's add the matrix table. In this, it is coming from the category, sales territory, and then the sales. So click to add the matrix table. And then the total sales is on the values. Category, I need it on top, columns, and sales territory on the rows. So this is what I need. We'll try to copy this one here in order to apply the formatting options. So click on this paintbrush icon, format painter, and put it here. That's it. So now let's go and have a look at the options available for this matrix one. And if I add one more field here, like region is there, so I also need the country. And what else we have here is the country key. Okay, that's it. So we'll add this one, country. So we got this option here, the drill down. Okay, so if we click here, then it will go. Oh, sorry, actually I need to add this one in the rows. So if you click here, then it will expand each and every category by rows here. And we have options here. We can show in the way like it is stepped, or we can add it on the column by column. So it is available on, let's say, step layout. So here the step layout, we can set the gap here between the Europe and France. Is the gap is there, right? So we can set the gaps here. To increase here, we'll get a lot of space between them. And if you turn off this one, it will switch to the columns. The first column will be the sales territory group, and the second is the sales territory country. So this is how it will work. And we are seeing about the conditional formatting and all, right? So we can apply all those steps here by using this conditional formatting option here. And the next thing is about this model name. So I'll just copy and paste it over there because everything is repeated here. So I don't want to do it one more time. And it is just coming from the model name here, and measures is the sales amount measure. That's it. Regular measure, and this is the sales amount which we have created over there. Like the same way here also, it is based on product and the sales amount, and it's also by size and sales amount, and this by styles and size amount, and this is by class. So I will just select all here and control click here to deselect. Select all, control click to deselect this matrix. So copy and go here. Let's reposition this and a little way up. So paste now with this one, and we got this error here. The reason we'll try to find out now. Okay, if you click here, something is went wrong for one or more fields. So if you click here, fields that need to be fixed, something went wrong. So the fields is not available there. And click on this visual and look at this visualization pane. We have an error here, model name. So expand this one and go to this product. We have not brought up the model name anything here. So model name is not there, and I think this is fields can't be used. So in order to work on these things, and I think we need to bring all the other columns which is available on the product. So it is the color, style, size, and class. So for that, we have to go to transform data. So go to this product table, and then
On this step, remove other columns. So it is better to bring all the information from the data source, and we can select only the columns which we required here for that specific visualization. So now we have this source available, all the columns available from the source. So we don't need to go and change on the source anything else. So we'll just need to work on this Power BI file, because in most of the companies, the DBA database developer will be separate and the Power BI developer will be separate person. So in order to add some columns or delete some columns, they have to contact to database database developer. Then they will do their job. So it is a long process for them to get some small result as well. So it is better to keep all the sources, all the columns available on the source, and we can remove whatever the things here. Because if you remove the columns here, it is not going to make an impact on the size of the Power BI. Actually, it is going to reduce the size if you remove the other columns as well. So now I click here. The requirement is we need these columns here, like model, class we need, style we need, model number we need, and size we need. So if you click OK, so it will add all those columns and close and apply. So now everything is working because the columns is available now. So I'm going to hide these visuals as well. So right click here and then hide page, this hide page, and we'll add the drill through. Now we need to add a drill through, right? So in that case, let's go here. Actually, I need the drill through on this one particularly. Like in this one, what I have used here, the sales amount and then the sales territory group. So wherever we have used this sales territory group, it's going to apply there. So let's go here to product visual. And in this page, if you click on any of the blank area here, and in this page, we have this option cross report drill through is there. Drill through, cross report, and keep all filters on is there. Add drill through fields here. So just to inform you that cross report drill through, this drill through is work inside the report. So it is just switching to one page to another page here, whereas the cross report filter is going to filter from one report to another. It is in Power BI service. So here we are going to cover the single one. It is jumping to from one page to another page in a single file. For that, actually we need the sales territory group. So I'm going here and then the sales territory group, country, and this is sales territory group. So drag and drop it here on the drill through area. And also you can drag and drop the measures here. So sales amount, I'm going to drag and drop here. So let it be there and keep all the filters is on. That's the default option. And if you go back here, and if you notice, just a second, a new button has been added automatically, because in Power BI service, if you click on the drill through options, it is going to this page, that is product visual. And if the user wants to go back to the previous page, that's the sales page, then they can use this arrow mark so that it will redirect it to the sales page. As this is the developer version of the Power BI desktop, so the user is developing here, so we can't able to see much changes over there. Now I'm going to mouse over here on the sales territory. So now I have got this option, the right click to drill through in this one. If I go here also we can, because we have drag and drop the sales amount measure over there. And if we go here product visual, I'm going to remove this sales amount from this one, because everywhere we have used the sales amount. So I'm removing this one for now. So go here, sales sheet. If you mouse over here, I'll have this option right click to drill through, and here it is not available now. And when coming to here, everywhere it is not available there. So that's the thing. Actually, it is good to have that one as well, because we can use this for multi-purpose. I will tell you that. So I'm drag and drop it here. I'm coming here now. So the total sales is 29 million. So on the Europe, we have 9 million. Right click here. So drill through options, this comes up here. Normally it will not appear here. This option will be only available if you do those steps. So drill through, and then it will give the options, give the list of pages to which we have enabled the drill through options. So in this one, we are just enabled for only one. So it is product visual. So for this 9 million, it will just pass the parameter of the sales territory Europe here. Now you can see this on the visualization pane. The sales territory is Europe, and it is additionally it has added by default by Power BI itself. Okay, so it has given the values here, the sales territory by this one. So whatever the information it is showing it here, it is purely related to the sales territory of Europe, nothing other than else. You can also use this option. So as we're working on desktop, so we need to use the control plus click, whereas in Power BI service it is just single click. So by doing that, it will redirect this page to the sales one. Now as I said, right, so the use of using the measures on the drill through itself is we have this option on every single visual, so we can use this option. So what I'm saying here, so we have 10, so people are coming from the more than 10 miles, so they have purchased for 3.7 million. Just a bit. So people are coming from 10 plus miles, so to which they have purchased 3.7 million, right? So I need to look at those region. So right click here, you can drill through options and product visual. So now this time it is not going to filter the sales territory, it is going to filter the total sum of sales. So it is the 3.7 million, which what is showing it here 3.7 million. So this million is split into 3 different sales territory as well. This is the thing, and the people are coming from 10 plus miles, they purchase this one. I'm going to change this view here and then fit to it. Okay, people are buying mostly the bikes here. Those are coming from 10 plus miles. Okay, so this is about the drill through feature. So let's see what else remains over there. So that we'll move on to the little bit of tags now. If this is complete, yeah, I think this is complete now. And the next thing here is the analysis part. Okay, so we'll start with this. We'll start a new sheet, and here I added the cumulative performance year by year and also the percentage of growth year by year. So I will just copy and paste this category, create a new sheet. Page view should be fit to width. So we have this lasso tool as well, so we can just click on the blank area and then drag and drop like we do on the PowerPoint or Excel. So it will select whatever available here. Whatever there is a border ticked here, so those features have selected. So I need also this one and also this one. So copy from this one and don't sync. So paste here. I don't need the sync now. Okay, we have all these values. So here on this one, what I have used now is the dates are coming from the date table, okay, the year and the month, and regarding the measure which I created here, so it is a period measure and it is coming the YTD sales. If you look at the DAX calculation, it's just a simple thing, it's YTD sales. What does this YTD sales does is, let's add one measure. In the measure table, I'm going to add a new measure. The most used DAX function in Power BI in the DAX is actually it is calculate. I'll say that it's a queen of the chessboard like that because we can play around with the queen anywhere else on the chess. Like the same way we can use on multiple areas and multiple locations this calculate DAX function. It's such a real helpful and powerful function in DAX. So here in that calculate, if you add calculate here, we have this option expression. So expression we can write the sum x whatever we have used for the sales amount. So in order to avoid the duplicates, I can use the same measure here. Instead of the expression, I will use the sum of sales amount. That's the thing. And after that, it is asking for the filters. So we can add n number of filters here. Here what I'm saying is here dates YTD. So this is a function dates YTD. So let's add the dates YTD. So in the dates, actually we have options like dates MTD, QTD, and YTD. Is YTD for yearly? Whatever YTD means whatever we have in current date. I mean the current context on this one. So it will take from January to December. That's it. YTD is yearly. It's coming from the January to December. So returns the set of dates in a year up to the current date. So basically, if we're working on the 2020, then it will take the dates from the 1st of January 2020 to current date, that is the 22 September 2020. As the data which is working here, it is on 2013, 14 and 15, I think. So on that case, it will take the whole year, that is from the January 1st 2013 to 31st December 2013 and 1st of January 2014 to 31st December 2014. So that's the date YTD. And the same way, dates QTD, MTD, it will just take from the first month, that is January 1st to end of January, February 1st to end of February. So month by month, it will go year by year, it will go month by month, and the dates QTD will go quarter by quarter. Actually, we need here the year by year growth. So we are taking it here, and we need to define the date column. So dim date is full alternate date key. So this is the date column which we have. So you can close the bracket now. Because by keeping this one, sometimes it will give the wrong results. So no need it here using the mentioning the date or day. So close the bracket and also close the bracket of this one as well. Now adding a line chart in the visualization pane. So bring it here. The line chart here on the axis. Actually, I need by month and year, right? So from the dim date, I will take the short month name which I created the calculated column in the axis, and the values I need here the sales YTD. Instead of sales amount measure, I will take the sales YTD in the values, and the year, the calendar year, I need it on the legend because whatever it is showing it here, right? So it is just adding up all the 3 years actually. The value which is showing it on the graph, it is for the all year. So 3 years of February, 3 years of January, 3 years of March, like that. So if you put this one on the legend, the calendar year, it will split it into 3 lines because we have selected the 3 years range. Now let's zoom this one a little bit. So here on seeing this one, what we understand is on January, we have a good sale in 2011, no, 2012. Okay. So 2011 is low, 2012 is high, and 2013 is very high. The same way as February. But on March, we have a dip in 2012, and in 2013 we have good sale. 2013 too is actually a very good sale. So the same way, only on the March, February, only on January and February we have good sale in 2012. Whereas for the rest of the months, when compared to 2011, so there is a less sale in 2012. But where are the good sales on the month of year of 2013? In general, if you look at the graphs here, on June we have good sale in the whole year, and also on the October we have good sale because it is affecting the, if you look at the graph, it is high on June for every year and also on October every year. but there is a very dip during the month of January and February every year. So this one thing, basically this the cumulative performance, it's looking at almost every organization in order to look at the performance of the company, how you are working from the past 2 or 3 years. So for the formatting options, I will just copy it here from this one and paste here. So using this format option and click here. And if you want to add the drill through option here as well, then let's try adding this one, sales amount. No, we are not using this sales amount here, so we can't able to use that, because here we are using the sales amount for the cumulative one. We can't able to use that total, right? So it was not working. The reason is because of the relationship issue actually. So I'll just go here, relationship modeling, and then manage relationship. In this, the fact table is connected to the dim date table is there, right? So if you open this one, this is connected to the order date key, and this is date key. Even though this looks like a date, but this is not a date data type. It's integer data type, because it's everything is numeric here. In order to work with this one, we have to select the date data type. So this is the date here, and at the end we have this order date. Click OK now. The values change here. So this is how it looks like, and this is exactly what we need to create this cumulative total year over year. Now if you look at this total here on the table, this first month is added here, and the February it is both of them value is added, Jan Feb value here, and here Jan Feb and March, and likewise it is adding up till the end of the year, that is 2011 December. This is the value, and when it comes to 2012 January, it is beginning the value as a fresh value. So in 2012 it is taking January 4 lakhs 95, and February it is adding up 5 lakhs, so it is 10 lakhs again. So keep on adding till the end of December 2020, and after that, when it comes to January 2013, it is starting a fresh value. So this is what actually it does. This is dates YTD. So let's go and check out the measure again. I'll zoom a bit here. So this is how it works. It is calculate, and then the expression is just sum of the sales amount and the filter option. And if you look at this expression in DAX function, calculate, and then expression is there, and comma, you have this filter inside a bracket. So whenever in a DAX calculation you have this option like bracket here, bracket means it's optional. So you, if you want to add, you can add the parameters, or if you don't want to add, you can just neglect that. But if there is anything which is not covered with the bracket, then you have to use this as a compulsory. So comma, it is dates YTD. It will just keep on adding these dates, and till the end of the December, it will add up all the sum of the values here, and when it comes to January of the next year, it will start a fresh value. So that's what it does here. So even though the DAX function which you have written yesterday was right, but because of the relationship issue, we are not achieving the correct result. So that's an important factor. We need to consider the relationship as well. Okay, now the next thing is today we are going to look at it is the growth percentage. So if you look at here, this one. So growth percentage year over year. So last year, how was the growth? When compared to last year, this year, how much is the growth? If it is a growth we have last year. So we need to find out what happened to last year and this year. Basically, the growth percentage will compare. For example, we will have the sales for the year of January 2011. So we are working for 2011, 12 and 13. So sales of the January 2011 is compared with the sales of January 2012 and also compared to the sales of Jan 2013. For an example, we have the sales of 100 millions here, and in 2012 we have 110 and 2013 we have 105. If that's the case, then the difference between the 2011 and 2012 is 10. The difference is the 10 here plus 10 actually. And whereas in 2013, if the difference between 2012 and 2013, it is minus 5. In that case, if you want to make a growth calculation, then here, for example, we have 10% of growth, and whereas here minus 5, 105, I think this will come around 5 minus 5% of growth. I mean, it's not a growth, it's a loss here. So this is how the calculation should work. In order to achieve this, as we're comparing the month by month, the January month this year to January month of the next year, likewise, so we have a DAX function like same period last year. So actually this is the one, same period last year. So this is a DAX function. So we need to use this DAX because the keyword itself says the same period last year. So the same period, January 2011, sorry, January 2012, the same period last year means, so January 2011. So likewise, the system will take care of the dates between the same periods of this year, and it will compare the same date period with the last year. Same period last year, I will give it a name, and then I will use this again, the calculate function. Inside to that, the sales amount, which is the sum of sales. Here we will use the same period last year. In this we have only one DAX function related with this because it's YTD. So the dates, MTD is there, QTD is there, YTD is there, right? So we will use the same period last year function, and it is asking for the dates. So here we have the date time table, full alternate date key. So that's the date key available on the date key. So whatever we are using it here, when it comes to date, you have to use the date data type column, not the numeric data type column, because we have seen we got an incorrect result when we use the numeric date type in the DAX, in the relationship or in the DAX calculation. So when it comes to the date, you have to select the date column itself. Here, the same period last year, and this is the full alternate key. So dim date full alternate key is a full, if you look at the data here, full alternate key is the only column available on this table with the correct full date here. Okay, so let's commit this one, says same period last year DAX function, and let's add this value into our table here to have a look at the result, how it actually looks like. So I'm going to remove this YTD sales, not required now. And if I drag and drop the same period last year measure here on this table, then we got this blank value here because we have this filtration applied from 2011 to 2013. So we don't, for the this measure doesn't have the data before to the January 2011. So that's why the same period last year, right? January 2011 last year means 2010 January. So we don't have the data filtered here. So that's the reason it's showing the blank value. So till December of this one. But actually when it comes to 2012 January, this is the value. Format this one, the decimal places. So clicking on the measure here on the top, you have the measure tools, and here we will apply the comma and remove these decimal points. We have this value here, January 2011, sorry 2012 Jan, we have this one, and this 469,824 is January 2011. Okay, let's try removing the slicer values here. So I will expand this value till 20, the full value, whatever they applied here. Okay, Now, what we understand from this is, even though the filters are applied here, but this same period last year calculation is extracting the value from the data which is available in our system. It is not restricted to the filtration applied. For example, as I said, I'm just going to filter this from 2011. Okay, so even though the data is filtered here 2011, but when it's come to the same period last year function, this data, that is 2011 December, this is the value, whereas the 43,421 is the value of December 2010 value. So it is taken here. So there is no filter context applied for this calculation. Whereas for this one, the calendar year, short month, and the sales amount, the filter context is being applied because the filtration which we applied is it is taking from 2011 January, so it is taking from 2011 January. It is not showing the value of 2010 December. Whereas here in this calculation, it is taking the value of 2010 December. So the reason behind this, the filter context is not applied to this calculation. That's the default behavior of this same period last year function. And in 2012, this is the value. So it's 469, it brings up here. And 2011 February is 466. So we got this value 466 here. Okay. So every month, so it is taking the same value. When it's come to 2012 now, 2011, 2012 and 2013, let's expand a bit here. Okay, so 2012 January is 495,364. When it's come to 2013 January, so this is the one 495,364. So we got this value here and here. At the same way, it brings up all the values, last year value to this month, last year value to this month. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to find the difference between these two, because that's the way we have to do that. So this year's sales minus to last year's sales, and we'll get this result. So let's create one more DAX function, same period last year growth percentage, right? So we'll give it a name, same period last year percentage. Same period last year, we'll give it a name, percentage, equal to, I'll just use a simple one. So sales amount, this is a DAX, it is working for this one, sales amount, minus same period last year. So this is the one. If you commit this one and add this to this table again, so format this option, select the measure tools, and clicking on the formatting option, remove the decimal points. Okay, now let's start from the beginning. So here the sales amount for this month is this one, and even though this is null, so this is reflecting here. And when it comes to here 2011 December, this is the value, and this is the last year sales, and this is the result. Actually, we have to compare the last year minus current year, right? So we have to reverse the formula. So same period last year value minus this year value. So I'm reversing the value. So last year value, because then we can able to see the growth of last year to this year comparison. So clicking on commit again. So it is showing all this value null here. I will come back to this one later on. So let's have a look at the data available. So 495 is January 2012 and 469 is last year value. So actually we get a less here, less sales in Jan and also in February. But when it comes to the March afterwards till Jan 2013, we got growth here. And again, when it comes to January 2013, when compared to the previous year, actually this is reverse way. So when it comes to January here, 495 is current month sale and 469 is the last year sale. So it's an excess here. Same period last year. So last year we had less sale, so it is showing it is minus. So today this year we have good sale. But when it comes to from March 2012 to the end of December 2012, every month we have the less sale when compared to the last year. So it is 596 last year, and this year we had 444. So it is 152 is the less here. Likewise, this is the work, it will work. And now we need to add the percentage value. Now, before going to that, we need to handle this one, because we don't need to show the values which is not available on these periods, right? So we can add one more small DAX here if required. That is, if is blank, one DAX is there, same period last year, then I don't need anything. So I'll just use 0, or we can return the blank value as well. If there is no blank value available, then I need to run this calculation. And again, if there is a blank value available in this DAX, same period last year, then return me blank. I don't need any comparison like this one. If there is no blank value available, then do this calculation. Commit here. So the value which is showing the minus values here, it is going to be blank here. See, if you look at this value now, here the same period last year percentage, it is showing the blank values, because that's what I have written in the calculation. If there is a blank value in this column, same period last year, then it will return blank, so it is returning the blank. If it is not blank, then it will make the calculation between these two. Now let's create a percentage for that. Okay, so this is the value. Now I need divide this number percentage here. So basically, let's open up an Excel file. We will make the calculation now. It is 506994 for February, 506994, and then 466335. 466335. So subtracting these two values here, it is minus 4659. Okay, so this is the value, it is showing it there. Now this is some sales the same period last year, and this is the difference actually. So by doing these three things, we got this value. Now we need to find the percentage, how much is the loss or gain. In order to do that, we need to divide this difference with the sum of sales and make it to a percentage. So here there is a loss of 8%. That's what we are showing it here. The initial thing what we did is the difference between the last year with the current year, and then the difference we are showing it here in percentage, means we have divide this difference into the sum of sales of this year. So we got this value here, right? So the difference, we have got this value here, and we can declare this into a variable. In order to do that, so we have to declare a variable. So var is the declaration of the variable, and we have to give it a name. So I will give it the name as difference. It is better to use double underscore or single underscore before to the name to identify that this is the variable. Declaring a variable is nothing but we are just storing the result of this calculation inside to a variable to make it easier for the rest of the calculation. Now I will return this value by using a divide function, because in Excel we did the divide, right? So I will use this divide function. Even though we can use this way, like sales amount, not the sales amount, the difference value. The difference is nothing but this one divided by the sales amount. I can use this one also, but it is not a recommended practice. Instead of this one, we have to use the divide DAX function, because if there is an error inside to this calculation, this divided by this, then this divide function will handle those errors here, because we have to define the numerator, that is the date differ, comma the sales amount, and comma there is 0. If there is an error here, we will get this 0 value here. If it doesn't do that, then the visual will not load, it will throw an error for you. Now committing this one, so it is showing this value. So select this measure and then clicking on the percentage value. Well, right now it is in decimal, so I'm going to change it to percentage and increasing the decimal points to 2 digits. Okay, let's be 1 digit result. So what we received here is when it compares to the previous year, so this year is 93% of growth, and here it is 5.2%. Actually, it is showing it in minus, right? So in order to show it on the reverse way, we have to change the calculation. Current year minus previous year, it has to be. So click commit now, because generally the growth we are going to show it on a positive way, the loss we have to show it on a negative way. So here it is growth, so it is showing in positive, and from here it is loss, so it is showing it in negative value. The same thing we have to apply here. Let's add copy and paste this one to use the formatting option. We'll just change the values here. So now let me change this view to fit to page, right? Okay, just to actual size. Okay, now I will remove the sales validity from here. I will keep the short month name and the calendar year the same way, and the sales percentage I will drag and drop into value section here. Now let's click here to fit to width. Okay, on 2011 we have this value here actually, so we have to filter that. So let's take an example from 2012 itself in order to avoid confusion. The data is not showing in clear way. Okay, from 2012 we have this value. So in 2012, in 2014 actually we got a huge loss here. So let's have a look at the data. Yes, correct. Because in 2014 January we have very much less sale when compared to 2013 December. Sorry, 2013 January. 2013 January we have 857, and this is the value here. Whereas 2014 January it is very less, that is 45,695. So that's why it is showing it in huge minus. And even to avoid this one, let's do one thing. Apply a filter of 2013 as well. So now it is showing the growth percentage of these 2 years, 2012 and 13. So in 2012 we have 5% of growth, and 2013 we have 42% of growth. So this is the way how the system is working now. So there is no data available for 2011, so it is not showing it here. And when it's come to 2014, it is showing the value, but it's too much congested here. So let's try filtering by month now, and I will remove this. We have only issue with the January, right? So in 2014 we have only sale in January, so we can't use 2014 as well. Anyhow, so because of the data, it is showing the too much vast difference here, so that's okay. So these are we can able to use the DAX to calculate the growth percentage, year-over-year growth. Here on the tools, in the title, year-over-year growth percentage. Use Power BI Desktop to publish the report into Power BI service. And what are the features available in Power BI service? So this is a Power BI file, and in the home tab you have this option to publish this report, and as well as if you go to file here, you have an option to publish to Power BI. So if you click here, you need to sign in with your official credentials. It will ask you for the username and password. So if you have, you can use that. So once it is done, it will open up this dialog box, and the workspaces available on your Power BI service, it will list out all these features here. And this is search option. It was recently updated in September 2020 release. So I'm going to test this on a testing workspace and then click OK. So if it is already there, it will ask you for the replace option. If it is the first time, then it will directly publish it in your workspace. It is publishing now. So once it is done, let's go to the browser to Power BI service. And this app.powerbi.com. If you are logged in here, you have to give your username and password. So it will open up this home screen, and here it will show you the favorites. The first is a home screen, and then if you have any favorites, you can add it here. If you are recently open, you can up here. And these are the apps. So we can convert the reports and dashboard into one place, and we can publish it to multiple users. But for those users also, they need a license for that. And if it is shared with me, and you can have this one. This for the health file, and these are all the workspaces. If you click here, you have a list of workspaces here. You can create many workspaces in Power BI Pro and Premium as well. For the Pro, you don't have any icons, extra icons here. But if you have the Premium workspace, then you will get a diamond symbol beside to the workspace name. So if you create the new workspace, you have to click here, create a workspace, and then it will ask you for the name of this workspace, and you can upload the image here. You can give it a name and description, and click advanced here. You have this workspace admin who have the rights to this workspace. If it's only admin, or you can specify a group or a user here. Let's cancel. So now I'm going to use the testing workspace. So click here and goes to testing workspace. So this is the one. These are the reports available here, and this is a new interface of this Power BI service, and they have enhanced some features in September 2020 release as well. So if you want to turn on or turn off, you can use this option here. It will list out all the reports, dashboard and dataset here, because we have selected all here. If you need only the report and dashboard, then you can click on the content. It will show only the reports and dashboard. And if it is a newly updated one, then we'll get this yellow symbol here that this is a newly updated report or newly published report. And here dataset plus data flow. So whatever the dataset and data flow here, data flow and dataset, it will available here. Here also you will get this icon that we in order to we get to know that this is the newly updated report. And if you open this one as a usual regular thing, you will get the list of pages available here. And if you want to minimize this ribbon on the left menu, you can click here. It will minimize that. And also for this one pages here, if you click here, it will remove the page list of pages here. And if you want to enable, you can enable it here. And in the file, you have options like save a copy, download the PBX file, or print this page. And in export, we have PowerPoint to export, PDF to export, analyze in Excel. If you want to connect this data to the Excel, you can do it from here. And share icon, you can share this with report with other peoples as well, but they have to be the premium or the pro license. And also you have the embed report. You can embed it on SharePoint Online and SharePoint website or portal. This is published to web. So this is open to web, so it will be risky one. The user no need to log in to view the report. It will directly open up your report here. Whereas in these two cases, they need their own credentials. And you can connect directly this with Microsoft Teams with the help of this chat in Teams icon. And if you want to comment any of this visual here, you can use this comment section. And you need automatic email to drive this report on a daily basis. You can click on the subscribe button here. Once you click here, so it will add subscription. You can give it a name here, and you can add the users here, but it has to be the pro license holders in order to get the email. So this subject and include message, and the bad thing is you can able to send only one sheet at a time. So if you want to send all of this, then you have to create each every subscription for all these pages like sales, product visuals, analysis, etc. So the frequency you can set it here: daily, hourly, weekly, or monthly, or once in a database refresh. And you can set the dates here, timings as well, even the location as well. So start and end date, and also include access to this report, link to report in Power BI. Once you save this one and you can run this one, you can turn off these subscriptions as well. And if you want to edit this report, you can edit it here. And what other option here is we have see related content. You can click here. It will show what are the things related to this dashboard. It will show up here. And open the lineage view on a new tab. It will open up from which data source it is coming from. You can show it on the graphical lineage view. So let that open, and you can get this usage in metrics, or you can pin this dashboard into a dashboard. So it will take the complete page in a dashboard. Still loading, no issues. So if you want to edit this report, you can click here to edit. So these are thing. So these are the tables, data sources you have used here, and it is refreshed using this data set, and these are the only report we have made from this data set. Cool. So you can edit this report. It will open up the same, almost similar kind of layout here, but the only drawback is you can't able to use or edit any kind of measure here. You can use the measure, but you can't able to edit measures here. So if you click here, here's the list of measures we have used. If you click any of those, I don't see any formula bar here, because so far we don't have any options for that. If you want to do any changes, then you have to do it on Power BI desktop, and then you have to republish this again to Power BI service. Back here you have the other options as well. So from here you can export, you can save as the data, export the report, and the same thing you can change the layouts here. So you have the options like you can show the grid lines, snap to grid, lock object, selection pane, bookmarks, sync slices, everything is here. You can change the mobile layout, but the only thing is you can't be able to use the measures, and you can't be able to go to Power Query editor, edit data transformation. Rest of the options are available here. You can do small steps in this window itself. So now the next thing is to go here, and these are the list of reports available here. Okay, so here you have the option like this is the type of the report or dashboard, and who is the owner of it, when it was refreshed, and when next refresh here, and the level of report sensitivity, if it is confidential or not, and this endorsement, if it is approved for the use in production or not. You can use it here. And this include an app. Include an app is nothing but you can create an app here. Instead of giving rights to the other users for this testing workspace, you can create an app, and from that app they can view the reports easily, because the way how they access this report in the workspace is different from using an app here. So app is the best option if you want to share it with other peoples. If there is one or two peoples inside your organization, and even they are also a developer, then you can share this workspace. But if they are just a viewer, then it is good practice to create an app and then share it with them. So in order to create an app, you have to just turn on or turn off these options here. So here I use these reports, even this one, adventure CSV, these reports to be make an app. So if you want to turn off these things, you can turn off this one. If you want to share only this app, you can create here. Initially, if you have not created any of the app here, then you will get create app. As I already created an app, so it is coming it here, update app. So once I click here, it will open up this one. So you can give the name of an app. It's something like a Play Store or an App Store. You can download an app, you can update an app from there, right? So like the same way, we are creating an app inside to a Power BI service. So you can create this app and publish it to all the users. Either they have the option to download and update by themselves, no need to update, it will update automatically, or else we can directly install on their logins. We have an option over there. So this is app name, and you can description, you can set the support here. So contact information show in app folder. You can change the logo and a color theme here. And this is a specific email address to the contact information. And the next option we have here, the navigation. If you have multiple reports here, you can navigate which you have to go bring first, which you have to bring down. And here also you have an option to change the name, how it will look like. So I don't need the CSV, so this is just advanced works. And to report link here, and with the section you want to open up here, and hide from navigation, that is up down tab. What are the pixel you can set here? What are the options here is medium, wide here. Okay, so new navigation builder, so that's a good thing. And also we got an update of August 2020 for the mobile release of the app. That's a good improvement over there. And the permission, we can set the permission to entire or specific persons. They can use it here. Allow users to connect to the app's underlying data set using the build permission. So even they can able to connect to the data source if they have the build permission, and allow users to make a copy of the report in this app. So you can make a copy of it if you want to allow it here. Even if they want to share it with others, they can also do it here if you give these rights here. Regarding this here, install this app automatically. So if you click here and then update, then it will directly install this app to a particular user. The links here for this one, they can app link here, and the report link which you create, each and every report will add up here. So if you click update an app, it will open up this pop-up. So it will generally tell that it will update in 5 to 10 minutes, but it depends on the data. So it will bring up fast. So now it has done. You can directly go to app here. So it will open up this app. In the left side, you will get the list of reports and what are the pages available inside to that report. It will show up here. And here on the center screen, you will get the data. Say for example, you can minimize and expand here, and I click on analyze here. Okay, you can open up this here. If you want to minimize this ribbon, you can do it here. You can export the file, save a copy, print. You the same option like export PowerPoint, PDF, analyze Excel, the share, everything is same what we have seen just before. And also you can customize these bookmarks here as well. Say for example, some users just want to show this only for the clothing store. Once they log into this app, they can create this one and they can personalize this bookmarks here. If I click clothing here, and it will filter all the data here for the clothing. And if I click here, add a personal bookmark, I will give it a name clothing, and click also here, make a default view. Whenever the user logged in here, it will just show up this window. So here also you have an option like full screen, fit to page, fit to actual. You can change the contrast of it. And if I reset, refresh visuals, you can also do it here. So if I go back here now, testing app, if I click on here, it will load again, and see it will load just the clothing store. If I go back completely here and click on these apps here, app icons here, it will list out all the apps available here. If you click on this testing app, so by default it will load this page and with the filtering option as well. Now let's go to this workspace and then have a look at the other options here. So you have this one, and you have this view, the list view here by default, and you also have the option to lineage view. In the lineage view, it will just show it from which data source you are coming from and what are the reports and dashboard you have made out of that data set. And you can give this access to the other users as well. If you click access here, it will show you who has access, and if you want to add, you can add the email address and password here. Sorry, just email address, and then you can just give the role here. So there are 4 kind of roles available in Power BI service. It is admin, member, contributor, and viewer. Basically, viewer is the least option, so he will have just the viewing option, nothing more than that. And whereas the contributor, he has the access to the data set, the reports has been shared with them, and that developer can make any changes or create a new report out of it. And the member, so member is nothing but it has all the rates available for this admin except to the workspace creation and workspace deletion option. Whereas for admin, he has all the access to do whatever you want. You can add a report, create a report, and delete a workspace or create a workspace. Other than that, yeah, just the this is the first level, and this is the last level user role. Okay, so if you want to do any changes here on your complete tenant settings, you have an option to go and change the tenant settings as well. So here you have icons, you can click it here, and then you have this option like admin portals. Before to that, we have this manage gateways. If you are using this Power BI service report and dashboard using your on-premises data gateway, if the data source is on available on the Azure or a SharePoint, then it will refresh automatically. If the data source is available on the on-premises like an Excel file or you have the SQL server on-premises, then you have to refresh your data by using the gateway. So in order to do that, you have to create a gateway. So click here. So you need to select the data source type and then it will ask you for the server IP and password. You can give it here and then apply. So once it is done, and if you go here to the report settings in the data set, so let me switch it back to list view. And here you have this option like the settings here. So if you click on settings, it will ask you for the gateway. So in the gateway, you have to mention to which gateway you are going to connect. So if you click here and then connect to SQL BI, and this is the gateway, and close, it is updated over there. So it will show it on a green. It is running it here. So once it is done, you have used this. You can use the credentials. So as we have this access to that data source, so you don't need to use any credentials here. And if there is any parameter that is role-level security applied, then you can use it here. If not, and you have the schedule refresh. So on what frequency you can set it here. You can turn this on or off. So here you have this option. You can change add a time or delete a time here. By using a pro license, you have an option to do it only 8 times refresh in a day. Whereas if you have the premium license, then you can go with 48 times refresh in a day. Testing workspace, and I'll open this one. There are two options are there. Either you can completely pin this dashboard into a new one. So it will completely pin this existing one onto this report. So I'm using this new existing or new option is there. I'm just taking this existing one, direct DB or test DB. I will take this test DB now. So existing one, pin. So it will completely so create a phone view. Don't need that. Let's go to dashboard. It will store all the visuals here. So for now, I'm going to remove this one. I don't need this. So you can delete this tile here. You can realign this here. So this is the one. So it is completely the whole page has been added as a pin here. So now go back to this report, testing workspace, and open up this one. So I will add the one KPI and these things. So this is the one. If you click here, you have this option like pin. If you pin here, it will ask you where we have to pin. I'm just pinning it on the existing dashboard. That is test DB pin. Closing this one. And also I will add you can add the KPIs in the discards over there and any graphs also over there. So I'll go to this home. Not only from one report you can, the beauty of the dashboard is not only from one report you can connect with the multiple reports in a single dashboard. Not even multiple pages, even from multiple reports. So I'm taking this one and pinning it on dashboard. It's the same one, and also the sales order and the customers as well. So tile theming, use the destination theme or use the current theme. In this current theme, we have this white background and these all things. And for the desktop, we have separate themes as well. So now let's go and let's have a look at the dashboard. So click here, you will have this option test DB. You can click it here. So on the top we have this one, and in the bottom we have these two here. We can resize here, realign also. So I'm just drag and drop here. I will bring this one on top of this page. You can realign or resize this one to as you wish. And this I want to, if you click on any of the visual, it will open up directly that report. So going back again, you have this option to resize. I will resizing this one. So this is how it will look like the dashboard. And if you don't need that, you can click it here, and you have this option to delete the tile. So right now we have only three options. So now, and here also we have the same option. You can export, share team, comment, and subscribe to this one. So click edit, it will just have this option. You can change the dashboard theme, view, or add a tile. If you want to add a tile, it will ask you from where you can add a tile. You can add a text box also here. For the real-time data streaming, you can also use it here, like the stock exchange and the gold market. You can also create it here, but it has to support it by the API. Now here regarding the dashboard theme, we have this option, the right theme, we have this dark theme, you can change here, and the color blended theme, this looks like this, and the custom theme found to change, you can also change it here. So dark theme looks good, but this is the only thing shows the fonts here, so I will prefer to go with the color blended one. So that theme is fine. So click cancel now, and you can click here. You get multiple options here. Chat in Teams, copy visual as image. You can just copy and paste it on the email or in the Word document. It will just copy the whole thing here. And go to report, open in focus mode. It will just open up only this window. And you have these options: export to CSV, details, view inside, tile, pin tiles, and delete. Whereas if you click on this card here, you get additional option, manage alerts. So manage alerts is nothing but if you want to make an automation, right? If you click here, you can create alerts here for the rules as well. So this is the alert for the sales. If the sales goes down, for example, below to this $25 million, 25 million rupees, for an example, you can also use the condition here. It is below, you can use this 25 million. This 25 million, if this goes below 25, there's a threshold, then it will alert an email that the sales has dropped down to 25 million. And here you can set the frequency. You can check each and every hour, or you can set for the every 24 hours. And alerts are only sent if the data changes. If there is a refresh, this is subject to the checking by this alert. But whereas if the data is changed from the data source location, if it is refreshed, then only it's going to send the alerts, and send alerts to send it to my email as well. So you can also use this Power Automate in order to make an additional trigger. You can send it to multiple users as well. So this is how you can able to use this one. Don't save. So this is a type. So if we go back again here, and I'm going to add this test DB inside an app. I click on update app now, and going back here to navigation, I'm just changing this one and changing this name as dashboard, and update this app. So go to this app now. We'll have the dashboard on the top navigation. The first thing is the dashboard, and you have these options here: sales by year and sales by month. These are the things here, and after that we have these regular reports from here. So in the dashboard, we have this option: ask a report, ask a question about your data.
right? So sales by month and sales by year. I'm just typing it here. Let's see if this works or not. By default, it has given the data. We have the access to data set, so it is showing it here. So sales on 2030 calendar year. So click here. Yeah, it is showing all the values of 2013 here, all the sales here. If you want, you can also use this on your dashboard as well. So click on pin visuals. Read only, you can't able to pin it here. You can exit it here. And what else remains? Let's have a look again to this workspace. We are seeing how to publish the report, how you can create a dashboard, and what are the 4 kind of roles available here, and how you can create a dashboard as well. And it's an overview of the gateway. So for the other things, you can just refer on my YouTube channel. It has covered almost all the broad topics over there.
I hope you got this confidence of making of the sales analysis project in Power BI after seeing this video. If you're new to this channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, just click on the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. But make sure you turn on the notification on your devices. Share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any queries and feedback, just post it on the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. See you in the next video.